Hey guys, today I just wanted to do a kind of a light commentary while just letting something play, and it's kind of about something that I believe I found in the market. And again, I don't know that it's the best way to trade necessarily, but I do think that if you could formulate a very complex and conditional strategy or set of tactics around different trade sizes and stuff, I think that you could potentially make this a very lucrative strategy. And so, what is this? I've talked about it before on my channel, but each of these color lines that you see that will appear is the time when a major stock exchange around the world opens. And so the idea is that there's liquidity to be found at those areas. And I think also, without me trying to guide you too much, because I don't want to force you to think one way, because I don't think I fully understand this yet, because it's kind of complex and nuanced, but I just want you to observe what happens. And I'm going to start playing it now while I talk. But I just want you to see and think about like what it could mean, okay? So, I'll try to keep the scaling, you know, I'll try to adjust the scaling as necessary. Oh, is it not going to work? Okay, no, it is. Oh, it's not going to, okay. I want them to extend, but this indicator is kind of buggy, so you might not see everything. Ah, okay, here we go. I think it's going to start working now, though. I don't know. It might not be the clearest, but I think you might get the gist. Like the lines are buggy. TradingView just kind of sucks, but try to see those levels and just kind of picture them moving forward. Some of them are. Hold on. Actually, maybe I can fix them. Okay, hold on. Second. Nah, I don't know. It's just it's weird. It's because it's in replay mode. It's not going to be great, but I just want you to think about maybe these could be levels that you would maybe want to enter and or exit a trade at. But they're not always going to be perfect anyway. Just saying. So don't like expect perfection, but there's definitely something going on regarding these levels a lot of times. You will see like things like that. You see that? That can't be a coincidence, right? Or is it? See how it comes right down into here? And this liquidity too, there is a reaction there. But again, I don't know, and maybe I'm not thinking about it the right way to approach it, like to try to enter or exit a trade there. But maybe you do something else with it. But that's the best I can think of. As you can see right there, it pretty much bounced off the 8:30 Fed wire open. Giant move. Like, that's not a coincidence. I don't believe it's a coincidence. It could be, but I don't believe it. Okay. And it won't be perfect every day, but you'll see days where, see, that's Japan, that's Tokyo. Opens, dips down into that, reacts to it. Look at that. Reacts to, I believe that's China or India. I think, I don't know. Those are Asian countries. We've got, I forget what that, I think that's, I don't know. That's London, or no, that's Europe. This is London. Fedwire. Look, see again, reacting to the 8:30 level again the next day. It did chop through it once, bounce back off it. Look at that. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's exact. Okay? This stuff's weird, okay? It's definitely something that's going on, right? But sometimes it just completely disregards it, or it kind of like goes outside of it. As you can see, it bounced off 8:30, but it went pretty far past it, you know? So it's like, how can you anticipate that? Because if you have a tight stop, you're going to get stopped out there. So this is definitely complicated. But like, look here, it goes back up into that level, sells off from it, but here it just chops right through it. Here it goes up a little bit past that level, sells off from it. Look, you see that reaction there, even to that downside, and then to the upside. Now look at this from the reverse. On the upside, it bounces off again. I don't know. I could be wrong. Could be a coincidence. I don't think so. After studying this for over a year, I made this indicator over a year ago, and I've studied it almost every day the market's open. Not like super intensely, but I just look at it for, a minute or so and think about it. And I'm very convinced that that's not a coincidence. You see what I'm saying? And on the flip side too, it's not a coincidence. And if you see my other video, I said that candlesticks are kind of not the best way of looking at the market, because they're just kind of like giving you the gist of it, but it's not like a perfectly up, showing you everything that happened. But anyway, so don't be married to what a candlestick looks like against it, but just, how far is price going through it before it reverses? How far is price going after it reverses? What would your stop loss or take profit be if you were going to try to enter at these areas? So I don't know, and it doesn't always work. But like, look at that. Do you see how exact that is right there? I don't know. They say a broken clock's right twice a day. It could just be that, but I don't know. If it's not this, then what could it be? Because if these are when traders from those countries are entering the market, like, that would make sense, right? Wouldn't it make sense that it would reverse after it causes a lot of stop losses, and then it moves, so it finds a high volume area, and then where there's a lot of orders congregated, and then boom, and then it reverses and finds areas where there's less orders, so price can move faster, more quickly. Like, it can move more quickly because there's less resistance in terms of resting orders. I don't know. So maybe the solution is that, if this area has a high volume, but there's a vacuum to one side of it, you just bet that it's going to go to that vacuum from there. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. But even if conceptually you don't understand, I mean, it's important to, but it's sometimes you can just mechanically figure out something that works without even understanding why. But personally, I feel like I need to understand why more, so that I'll be like, I can't explain it too well, but I just feel like if I know why I'm doing something, it does become easier to do, and it becomes easier to figure out solutions to problems. Like, okay, you see that? It gets right to that level. There's resistance there. So maybe you're just going to scalp when it hits that level, or maybe you want to go for a big trade. If you go for a big trade, you're going to have a lower win rate, but you'll have bigger winners when you do, right? If you're scalping, you're going to have big losers, but they'll only come every once in a while. You'll have a lot of small winners. But maybe, again, it's like you'd have to look at the stats yourself if you're a good statistician and see, is it more profitable to scalp these areas or to go for like home runs from these areas, right? Are you going to try to hit a bunch of singles, or are you going to try to hit fewer home runs? I don't know. But these are the questions that I'm asking myself. They're probably what you should be asking yourself. Like, look at this, okay? It goes up, bounces off it, goes up, bounces off it. Okay, that can't be a coincidence. But then sometimes an order there's just enough orders that it can just blow through the area. I don't know, it's probably just there's enough people buying that it just blows through it. So clearly institutions are aware of these types of things. So it's not just going to be the secret cheat code. It's more like now you are able to play, you're closer to batting in the major leagues when you can see this kind of stuff, right? Because at least you know what they have to work with. You might not know what exactly they're going to do with what they have, but at least you know what they have to work with. And so you know where to probably look for trades. But again, it could get deeper and more nuanced than this. It most likely does, but this is definitely, I believe, a big piece of the puzzle. Because like, see, it like kind of bounces off there. I don't know. But again, sometimes it just goes right through it. But then later it does tend to reject from that type of level. But hard to say, man, hard to say. Or it's just a coincidence. Again, I fully accept that as a trader, everything I think I'm seeing could potentially just be a coincidence, okay? You always have to consider the possibility. Okay, I haven't personally made money trading it this way. Well, I haven't really tried to actually trade it because I've been studying it for so long, but I still feel like I don't know how to really gather good stats on all of this to analyze it, and that's how I wouldn't trade it live. But I have paper traded it at times, and honestly it didn't go well because I didn't know where to put stops. Because the big issue with this is let's say that you've got multiple of these levels stacked on top of each other, then, and if your stop loss for one is just at the entry of the other, then there's no point in even stopping out, right? So then you start collecting, you know, basically pyramiding in at each level, and then your order size gets very, very big. And your losses can end up being pretty bigger than you imagine. So it's definitely something where risk management will have to be very smart. You know, you'll have to, but that ties into stuff I've taught before, which is that you already have to you have to have a mathematically statistical, you see that? You see that? Okay, anyway, but you have to have a statistical edge. Like mathematically, the numbers have to tell you that you have a codable edge that you can teach a bot to do just repetitively, because that's the only chance this is a numbers game. The only way you're going to have edge is with mathematical numbers. And so I feel like I can't actually gather the stats on this kind of stuff, because it's like, this is a very daunting task for a statistician, in my opinion. I mean, if you don't know how to code, which I don't know how to code. Someone who knows how to code could probably write something that could gather data on this pretty fast. But even defining the parameters of the code, I think would be pretty difficult. So I don't know. But so that's why I don't know how well this works, and I'm trying to find people who are willing to do some work on this. Because if we do solve this, we could make, well, if you solve this, then you will literally be like, you'll become a big player. You will make a shit ton, you'll make a ton of money. You will take you will make a lot of money if you'll take a lot of money, yeah, from other traders. But if you can figure this out, then you're basically beating the game, in my opinion. I'm sure there's other edges out there, but like, this stuff is, to me, I see something. But again, it doesn't always work. But like, okay, look, see that? Once you extend that line out, did it stop? No. Okay, once you extend that line out, look, it reacted to it on the flip side right there. Okay, pretty soon after. So, and like, look at this. This gets pretty close. You know, there's still liquidity. As it gets to the freaking, this is the London Open. There's a lot of liquidity from London. Anyway, like, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. This can't be a coincidence. Okay, look, and then boom. Look at that. Are you kidding me, guys? So, but it doesn't always work, right? But look, when it does, it's very powerful. Like, it's clearly, like, look at this. So there's got to be an edge, right? It's just, but I don't know. It's very complicated. So like, trying to work with this is going to be hard. So yeah, this one is just more like, hey, this is something that I think is bigger than just my brain, and I'm just offering this out to you, and any insight you think you have, and please be intellectual with it though. I don't want to hear dumb stuff, okay? Like, seriously though. Like, don't just ask stupid questions on this video. This isn't about, this is advanced trading theory stuff, okay? So if you have something insightful that will actually, you know, that you could, you know, bring to this, please leave a comment. Let's get discussing this, you know? I can't be the only person that sees that must mean something, right? Anyway, take care, guys.